Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I am the creator and author of the Get Resultsology system and a dedicated accountability coach. My mission is to empower solopreneurs to unlock their true potential, boost their income, and achieve extraordinary success by maximizing productivity, streamlining their businesses, and aligning their goals with their authentic vision and purpose. So, if you're ready to turn ambition into action and transform your goals into reality, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to say that my guest expert today is John Tyreman. John is the founder of Red Cedar, where he helps professional services firms drive growth through podcasting. With over a decade of experience in buyer research and business development, and 2 decades in audio as a part-time musician, John blends strategy with sound. He hosts Breaking Biz Dev and Podcasting in Professional Services, offering clients a unique mix of producer, marketer, and podcast strategist all in one. John, welcome to Goalbusters.
Robin, it's a pleasure to be here. I am delighted and excited to bust up some goals with you.
Excellent. Perfect. Really glad to hear it. Whereabouts in the world are you, John?
I am in Virginia in the United States, about 70 miles outside of Washington, D.C. So it's right on the edge of the city, but I've got access to the country, which is great.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Oh, I live near the country and the seaside where I am. I don't think you've got much seaside in Virginia, I don't believe, if I know my map of America, which I don't very well. But
No, it's a few hours drive, but there is a coastline.
yes. Oh, there definitely is a coastline. Yes, indeed. Okay. So, all right. Shall we do the questions and stop my waffling?
Let's do it, Robin. Let's do it.
Okay. Let's get the clock up on the screen. And there it goes. John, if you could tell me, please, who is your ideal client, please?
Expert consultants, professional service providers who are serious about building a marketing program that will lead to meaningful business outcomes. And I do this through podcasting primarily. That's my service offering. But I'll give you just a couple of quick examples of some of my clients. So I work with a financial service provider. He specifically targets ground transportation companies. We have a podcast specifically for that niche. Mark, my co-host on Breaking Biz Dev, his goal was to land a new client within a year of investing in the podcast. And together we've been able to get ROI from our show. So that's amazing. Matt from Sinclair Ventures, he wanted to accelerate his network with referral sources. So we launched a podcast in that pursuit. And then my friend Joe from Hinge, he wanted to engage with audiences and create more video content. So we launched a podcast for them. So those are the kinds of in agency, fractional chief operating officers, fractional sales consultants, financial service providers, accounting firms. I'm launching a podcast with an architecture firm next month. So those are the kinds of clients that I serve.
That's very interesting. And you've also quite a lot delved into the second question, but I will ask it anyway, because I'm sure you do solve more than one problem. But what is the problem or problems that you solve, please, John?
Robin, forgive me for stepping ahead of myself. But yeah, some of the problems that I help my clients solve is, when firms get to a certain point, the referral well runs dry. And so there's this kind of light bulb moment that happens in firm owners where they say, how else am I going to generate leads? How else are we going to develop new business? How else are we going to hit these revenue goals? So I help them explore creative ways to do that through podcasting. There are some experts who want to get off the speaking circuit and reduce travel costs, spend more times with family. So that's like a unique personal problem. But maybe there's experts that are some of the best kept secrets in the industry, and they want to bring more visibility to their expertise. So that's kind of a flavoring of the service or of the problems that I solve.
Thank you. You're painting a lovely, a very broad and big picture for us. I love that. So we don't need to be too precious about the questions, but we
Sure.
will move on to the third question, which is, what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them solve that problem?
So some passive actions. I do run two podcasts that help with that, Breaking Biz Dev and Podcasting and Professional Services. So folks that are listening now, they might find valuable in those shows as well. Some active actions that folks can take. Take your smartphone and record a 60-second selfie video talking about a pain point of your customers, post it to social media. Completely free, but what it does is it starts the habit of speaking and articulating your expertise, getting used to your face on a screen, getting used to hearing your own voice. If you want to take it a step further, take that same phone, whether it's an iPhone, Android, or whatever you have, record a 15-minute audio rant, expand on that customer pain point, throw it into a free audio editing tool like Audacity, and then learn how to edit audio. And pretty soon you'll have the skills to edit podcasts as well as some experience speaking to your expertise.
Fantastic. It brings back memories for me. I go for a walk every day, and I started by just talking to myself, but recording it, you know,
There you go. On
and
your walk
on my
with,
walk, yeah.
there you
So
go.
I was instead of just muttering to myself and looking like a madman, I was actually doing something useful. All right. So now that we have a better understanding of what you do, let's dive into goal busting, which is focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve business goals. John, can you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits?
Yeah, so I think that there's a few that I look at. The 80-20 rule, I think it's called the Pareto principle, where you focus on the 20% of the activities that drive 80% of your desired outcomes. And so there's this periodic review, at least that I do, in looking back at my calendar, the things that I've been working on, what's produced results, what hasn't, what can I prune. It's much like, gardening, right? You've got, shoots coming out of the elbow, your tomato plants, cutting it off and pruning it so that it can grow. Time boxing is another one. So grouping like tasks together. So for me, I produce a lot of media. So I have like blocks on my calendar where I go through and I'm doing nothing but like video production that day across the portfolio. It's not just focusing on one account, but it's like tasks grouped together. Process documentation is another big one. If you can document your process and kind of go back and revisit it, you can cut out parts that maybe aren't efficient. So those are just a few examples of how I think someone could improve their productivity.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when you group the same tasks together, because some of these tasks, they're not simple. There's so many steps to remember. And so, because once you get back into the flow and you've done the first one, oh, I remember how to do this now. And then you do the next one, then the next one, the next one. Whereas I find that if I break things up over a period of days or weeks, the first hour is always like, how did I do this again?
Yep. Context switching, I like to call it shifting gears. And so, yeah, getting in that mental mindset of what that task is can be, you know, inefficient at times.
Yeah, very much so. All right, that's brilliant. So finally, what is one question I should have asked you today, John, that I didn't? And also, what is your answer, please?
Since this show is about busting goals, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the EOS model, EOS, the entrepreneurial operating system. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but having a 10-year target, breaking it down into a 3-year picture, breaking it down into 1-year plan, breaking it down into quarterly rocks. So that was just one thing in the productivity realm that just popped into my mind. But things that you didn't ask that you should, in terms of busting goals, I don't know. I think we've covered a lot of it. What's
Well,
one
yeah,
thing that you would have liked to have heard from me? Quick, 10 seconds.
I always like to hear what your USP is. What makes you different to anybody else offering similar services?
Uh, oh, just that time.
No, no,
Uh,
no. I've asked now. I've asked, so you can finish. Not if you don't
um,
want to, though. You don't have to.
no, no, no. What makes me different? I'd say that, well, in podcasting, my focus on professional services firms, the fact that I host a podcast, that I am an experienced podcaster, but not just a producer, also a marketer. So I think the overlap between the focus on that industry focus, the fact that I have relevant experience as a podcaster, and the fact that I have relevant experience as a marketer, I think the overlap of those three things is kind of I like to call my unique genius.
I love that. And I'm really glad I asked you actually, because that really anchors the message that you've brought today, which so people have a better understanding of what you do. So, which segues us nicely into my final non-scripted question, which is how do people reach you? And that's part A. And part B is, do you have like a valuable free resource they can get from you, which is a really good way to find out more about what you do?
Yeah, folks can reach me on LinkedIn. That's where I like to hang out. LinkedIn, just search for John Tyreman, Tyreman. You can check out my website, redcedarmarketing.com. And then a free resource that people can tune into, Breaking Biz Dev, podcasting and professional services. If folks that are listening to your show, they might find value in those shows as well. So that's where I would point people to.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, John. That's really interesting information, and I'm certainly going to go and look at that as well. And I never say that and don't mean it. I genuinely go and have a look because I always think it's interesting, and I am genuinely interested in what you do as well. John, that's been brilliant. A masterclass, actually. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robin. It's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure to meet you too. And thank you, John Tyreman. Thank you, and bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate, and review it on your favorite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.